Welcome to another video of my rebuild of my Suzuki DT65 89. Just want to talk today about some of the work that's been done to this point and share a few tips along the way. So first of all, much like I did on the head repair, I've used that JB weld in here to repair that exhaust manifold. Got it nice and flat. It's quite easy to work with, and use the oil stone afterwards just get a nice smooth finish. That was actually cracked right at the top, so it needed to be repaired, and it's been thickened up to around 4 or 5 millimeters as well. The head has been reinstalled. It was torqued up to around 25 newton meters. And that's ready to go. Thermostat next part to go back on next. In terms of the piston, the pistons themselves and the crank, I've replaced the two of the piston pins and the bearings, the cage bearings. You can see they're quite corroded, and so they've got nice shiny bearings and pins back in. Replaced all the pistons on them. I gave the pistons a really nice clean. Checked all the gaps, etc., that they were still within spec, which was important. But I've also given the cylinders a hone, and that's all nice now. I also replaced one of the circlips that holds the pins in on the piston. That was just a little bit out of shape, so I've replaced that. And you can see here that obviously it's been put back into the crank, and the crank case has been reassembled. Quite a heavy torque. I think it was about 46 newton meters, and using a flange sealant, spread thin across the whole face of the flange, right the way through, and just making sure it doesn't get any excess that flows into where it could potentially get on the bearings or into the moving crank. So reasonably quite important part of the rebuild there, and that's all back together. I've also taken out and replaced the oil pump seal that goes in there. It's only a small M6 bolts, and they were torqued up to about 7 newton meters. With the head, and in fact all of the gaskets that are going back in that are going to be exposed to water, using this gasket sealing compound just to coat both sides, and again just in areas that you potentially could get into where the pistons are, etc. Just make sure they don't have any excess or overflow spilling out there, so just be a bit careful. But otherwise that's quite important. It helps take up some of the imperfections in the surfaces you're dealing with. You can hear that nice sort of sound of, it should be quite easy to move as well once it's been reinstalled, that crank. One finger operation. So next up we'll be looking at putting the carburetors back on. I haven't put we'll be putting the flywheel on probably last. And of course we've got the exhaust plates to go back on, again with the gasket sealing compound there. Thanks for watching. We have more videos to help you with your rebuild. Thank you.